Hello. Hi, Satya, Lynn, Maureen, Shivani.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Hi, Jen. Hello, Shanti. I allowed you to record, Shanti. And uh, okay, Shivani, I think you already added. Just check.
Mhm.
I think,
No, you can hear me. I don't have the thing. I don't know. Today I signed in from my own account.
yeah, that's why you're added. Because you've not been added before because you have a new account. Hi, Myra. So it's okay. You can listen in.
Ooh.
Mm, good. I will just share the screen. Today for some strange reason, I cannot um, show the slide.
So,
I'm muting you all. So, welcome today, lesson 28, and we are doing predictive techniques. This is bringing together all the information we have done so far. So, be very interesting next few weeks. And let us begin with the chanting. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahman Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Brahma Murari Sripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Budhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavo Om Tati Shankatushārabham Shirodaranavasambhavam Namami Shashinam Somam Shambho Mukatabhushanam. So Today, our practice mantra is the Vedvyasa mantra, or it is also known as Purana mantra. And we are doing the mantra for Jupiter, Brihaspati. Om Devanam cha Rishinam cha Gurum Kanchan Sannibham Buddhibhutam Trilokesham Tam Namami Brihaspatim. So I also want to let you know about the courses in 2024. So you are going to move to rules of interpretation. That is, if you want to continue. That will be from 6th March onwards, and same format, but lot of more knowledge, advanced knowledge. And then the level 3 is only prediction techniques. It does much more than prediction techniques. That is starts on 7th of March. And then the advanced courses on planetary yoga, 8th March to 8th November 2024. And early bird is 21st October 23. So if you want to join any one of the courses, the early bird is 21st of October. So also I spoke about last week also Parashara Astrology Conference, which is 16th to 20th November 2023, hosted by Kasanati Jyotish. And I am going to be lecturing there. I have a keynote address on November 16th, then Saturn's Complex Transits Workshop, and Dhana Wealth Yogas of Sage Parashar. You can look up all the schedule, everything on parasharaconference.com, and there's a promo code as a discount if you put my name, and it will allow 10.8 off till October 1st. So you have opportunity, you want to join for a day or a full program, and Kasanati also shares the recordings, so you'll get the recordings as well. These are my books, so we start with predictive techniques, and I just want to ask you a favor that if you could give me a testimonial about studying in the course with me and send to my email komela9@gmail.com. I don't use your full name. I use initials and the country that you are attending the course from. So I'd really appreciate that if you can do that. So this week we are talking Vedic astrology predictive systems. The birth chart represents the quality of the person, but how this quality unfolds is studied through the various tools of prediction. The present future was studied primarily to understand how the potential of the soul was going to develop or how it was going to be realized. Usually, future was only studied to judge whether an individual could fulfill their dharma, do all the good deeds they were born to do, and those that remained unfulfilled from the past life. Sages wanted to know what the future held in store, what blocks there were, and which were the best times for the individual to fulfill his dharma. I think the sages also wanted to know what is the difficult times, because there are times when we can't do all our good intentions can be spoiled because the time is not right. So understanding time was one of the key factors about this. And so we can also know about what we want for our present life the soul's journey, career, relationships, children, health, positive, negative periods of life. So the main factor about trying to understand, one sec, I just want to go. The main factor was with that the sages wanted to know all these systems was to understand the quality of time we live in, the positive, negative, and super challenging. You see, the positive times are never difficult to experience. It's the super challenging that are more experienced. And although the people wanted to know about the soul's journey and dharma, we also want to know we are living on this world, practical things like career, relationships, children, all these things the dasha system can explain very quickly. So what are the predictive tools that we use? The dasha, which is showing the unfolding pattern of life. Gochara, the planetary transits that modify the dashas. Varshaphal, annual horoscope. Prashna, the chart of the moment for divine question. So the most important tool is the dasha. Dasha means direction. Birth chart suggests passive influences you have brought into your life, past life karmic issues that form your character. Which of these will become prominent in this life and at what time has to be seen through the dasha system or the unfolding of the one sec. Yeah, or the unfolding of the life direction. These dashas are very precise and they are superb in giving you a clear idea of what is happening. The fulfillment of the promise of the birth chart is dependent on the dasha pattern of the individual chart. So the dasha system is unique to Vedic astrology. It's a planetary system of predicting the past, present, and future. And there are many dasha systems: Vimshottari, Chara, Kalchakra, Nesargika, Manduka. But Vimshottari dasha is the most used dasha system. Various stages of your life are controlled by the Navagraha: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. During their planetary periods, different areas of life of the chart come to life. Different areas of the chart are highlighted. What is promised in your chart can only fructify during the dasha periods. Gochara is the Sanskrit name for transit. Go means stars or heaven. Chara means movement or travel. Gochara means movement within the stars. Gochara is the transits of the planets at any given time. We will be discussing that later after we finish the dashas. Transits are shared experience of all of us, as all of us experience them at the same time. Two crucial things to consider: how it affects an individual and how we react to the transit. So if we take the transit today, this is the chart for today, and you see that these lines under this: Saturn is retrograde, Mercury is retrograde, Jupiter is retrograde. One sec, let me remove extra bits. So that means that some people, so it's like Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Gemini Virgo. They will experience this more because of the retrograde energy. But where the planets are, each person has a certain way to experience it. But I have found a most important factor is how we react to the transits. Because there's one thing of having the transits, but the other is how are we going to react to the situation. No two people react the same way to the transit. So, it's also your chart, it's also how you have managed your life and how aware you are. One of the greatest advantage of Jyotish is that it shows you the path through the dashas and through transits. Transits modify the dashas. Some transits, like in 10 Saturn ones, can even override the dasha influences. Eclipses, combustion, station, retrograde of planets can also cast major influences. So another point I wanted to mention here, one sec. So in Vedic astrology, dasha comes first, and then we analyze the transits. So always when we are looking at a chart, we'll first look at what dasha you are in, and then we will go to the transits. Panchanga is the 5 limbs of the day that affect the quality of the day. Understanding this can help us make the right choices for the right tasks, improve the future. This quality changes daily. We will study daily Panchanga later in the course, in depth in level 2 and 3. So Panchanga, I'm teaching the advanced Panchanga level 4. So, that is part of the it's not really a transit, it's a standalone technique, but I put it in Gochara. Then Varshapal. Varshapal means year. Varsha means year. Pal means fruit. This is an annual chart. It's erected for solar return on your birthday or the solar lunar return. It's a snapshot of planets on your solar return birthday. So basically what we look at is that what is happening on your birthday, and that chart will affect you for 1 year. Not all the time, but just for 1 year. So every year the Varshapal is erected, and Varshapal modifies the dashas and transits, shows what is most important aspect of the year in question. For example, if nodal axis is in first 7th house in Varshapal, there may be many relationship issues even if the dashas and transits are not indicating. So there are types of Varshapal. There is Varshapal solar return. This is when sun comes back to the natal position annually, how planets on your solar return day, and what is promised here. Usually this is regarded as a Varshapal chart. Solar return chart was a later addition. What Vedic astrologers like is what is called Tithi Pravesh. This is when the angle between the sun and the moon are the same as your birth chart. When sun comes back to the natal sun sign, then exact angle of the moon, including whether it's waxing or waning phases, is studied. This gives a different birthday from natal chart. So actually, not just Tithi Pravesh, but Varshapal will be studied in detail in year 3. Actually, right now, I'm teaching the year 3 students Varshapal. So that we have to know a lot more before we can go on to Varshapal. But the Tithi Pravesh chart, if we look at Prince Harry's chart, he's born on Panchami Tithi, dark half. and his sun is in Leo. So actually his birthday is coming in 2-3 days time, 15th of September. So, but for the birth solar return, we would take 15th of September as his solar return birthday. But for Tithi birthday, we would take Panchami Tithi, 5th Tithi of the dark half. And that is the Tithi you would take when the sun is in Leo. So we haven't studied that as yet. That's why I teach that in year 3. So by then you are quite familiar with a lot of these terms. And Prashna literally means a question. Here the aspirant asks a divine question. In fact, when you visit a Prashna astrologer, you do not ask the question. The chart of the moment you visit the astrologer is the question and gives the answers. Prashna is a stand-alone technique. So people can be specialized in Prashna. It's especially useful for those who don't have a time of birth. So what an astrologer will do is that the time you come to them, so like today, if somebody came to me right now, I would look at the chart for now. There's a lot of techniques there, and I would give an answer from this chart. I don't need the birth chart. I don't need anything else. So, it's a very advanced technique, and it's a very advanced technique. It'll be taught in level 3 and as a specialization subject in level 4. As yet, I have not taught the specialization Prashna online. I taught it in 2 years running in Kerala. It was very successful as a course, but I haven't taught it for some time. So now we come to the dasha systems. So there are many dasha systems in Vedic astrology. Vimshottari is the most popular. Some others are Chara, Naisargika, Yogini, Ashottari, Kalchakra, Narayana, Shula, Mula. I use Vimshottari as it gives best results. Now, what happens is that sometimes people like to study the other systems, but it seems more kind of academic. In use, I would say the most popular system in use in India is Vimshottari, and then people, the second one is Charadasha. Charadasha is also people will study, but otherwise, there's many systems given by Sage Parashar, and you can study them one by one. Other dasha systems are used along with Vimshottari to fine-tune predictions. Using too many dasha systems can confuse the students. Mastering one dasha system is better than being confused by many. So this is an important aspect to understand. At foundation level, we learn about Vimshottari Dasha. Some other Dasha systems will be taught on level 4. Chara Dasha is a sign-based system, is very important Dasha to learn alongside with Vimshottari. Chara Dasha was taught in level 4. Recordings are available. Actually, I've done 36 classes for Vimshottari, Charadasha, and transits. So these manuals are also available, and the recording is available. If you want, you have to email me for it. I'm not going to be teaching it immediately after soon. So today we are concentrating, and for the next few weeks, we are concentrating on Vimshottari Dasha. Vim means 20, Shottari means 100. Dasha is direction of life. This Dasha system promises maximum longevity of 120 years. So classics do not tell us how this system was put together or why. This is the secret part of Vedic astrology. I feel it is connected to waxing, waning phases of life. Life is divided into two sections, one where life rises and we expand our horizons, the other when we internalize. Due to living conditions, lifespan got shortened over the years. Now it is getting back to optimum limit. 120 years is divided into two cycles of 60 years each. 0 to 60 is when humans are ascending. 60th year becomes the time when the shift takes place. There are 60 Jupiter years, Samvatsara. After 60 years are completed, you start reliving them. 2 times 60 is 120 years. One where you're breathing in, one where you're breathing out. So the 60th birthday becomes like a midpoint, midlife in our lives. And it also represents 10 Jupiter years, 120 years. So 10 Jupiter returns, 120 years. Our Chinese students will recognize something here, that we have 12 signs of the Chinese zodiac multiplied by 5 elements, and we get 60 years. And that and then we have 2 sets of those 60 years as well. So I don't know enough about Chinese astrology. I'm not telling you, but I know just the simple maths of it. So dashas are used for timing of events in a life. Events and influences indicated in a natal chart manifest during their appropriate dasha phase. Relationships, career, spiritual, financial issues, quality of life, death. Actually, people in India, I don't do it, but as soon as the chart, somebody was born, they would work out the lifespan. And then within that lifespan, whatever the dashas were. But that is not a fully accurate science. So one has to be careful, because you can scare somebody by telling them, oh, you're going to live so many years, and the person is living past it. So this, I don't look at lifespan, but the dashas, what dasha you're in now, this is very important. So the order of Vimshottari dashas is like this. Sun, which is 6 years, Moon, 10, Mars, 7 years, Rahu, 18, Jupiter, 16 years, Saturn, 19 years, Mercury, 17 years, Ketu, 7 years, and Venus, 20 years. Nobody knows why these years are given to the planet. So far, nobody has discovered. A lot of research has been done, but this is the system that is happening. So the 9 planets, each of them rule different times of your life. And this is the same order of nakshatra rulership. So you see Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Ketu, and Venus. So they come in this order. So there are 5 levels of dashas. Vimshottari, long term, these periods are given above. Bhukti, years, Prayantara or Pratyantara, both of them months, Sukshama, days, and Prana, hours. So the level 1 of the dasha, Mahadasha, Maha means great, Dasha's life direction, the major dasha periods. In ordinary speech, they are just called dashas, but in fact, they represent one level of a very sophisticated system of subdivisions of varying lengths, proportionate to their period. These are used for greater accuracy in interpretation and prediction. So here we see the dasha, just to show you that this is how the dashas are represented. And we are just going to look at a couple of dashas here. So here what I've done is, if you see up here, that I've got, you can have, this is, sorry, let's just look at the chart of Serena Williams. And Serena Williams' moon is 2647 of Leo. It was in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, and Uttara Phalguni is ruled by the sun. So her first dasha is the sun. She didn't experience the full sun dasha, 5.9. And then she had moon, Mars, Rahu, and right now, in September 2022, she started Jupiter Dasha. So you can also put it as now. Sorry. Yeah. So you can see right now she's in Jupiter Dasha. So these will be called the Mahadashas. So her Mahadasha, this is the order of her Mahadasha. And so let us look at Mahadashas for you guys. So this is Atma Jyoti. Moon is in Ardhara Nakshatra, which is ruled by Rahu. So first Dasha is Rahu. But Atma Jyoti only had 6.5 years of Rahu Dasha. Full Dasha is 18 years. Followed by Jupiter, and now Atma Jyoti is in Saturn Dasha. Actually, in the morning, almost all the students are in Saturn Dasha. It was quite amazing how much Saturn Dasha was there. So you see here that Atma Jyoti is also in Saturn Dasha. Today, we are not working out what it means, what it is. We are just looking at what are the dashas you are in. And Emma is moon is in Bharani Nakshatra, and Bharani was almost 20 years of Venus Dasha you had, and then you had Sun, Moon, Mars, and now you are in Rahu Dasha. So you just started 5th of June 2023, you started Rahu Dasha. So what does it mean, what to do, how to handle it, all those things we will discuss over this next few weeks. And Jennifer, you have a moon in Shatabhishak Nakshatra, and you can see Shatabhishak is ruled by Rahu. So you had 15.9 years of Rahu Dasha, followed by Jupiter, and you are in Saturn Dasha just now. And in your case, Jennifer, you're born with Jupiter, Saturn together. So both Jupiter and Saturn, they follow one after the other. Same house is indicated there. See, as we are looking at these dashas, some aspect becomes clear to you as we look at it. So Zunze, moon in Vishakha Nakshatra, ruled by Jupiter. And so the first dasha is Jupiter for 8.2 years, then followed by full 19 years of Saturn. And now you are in Mercury dasha. And So you see the difference in Junjay's chart to Jennifer's chart is that Jennifer has Jupiter, Saturn together, whereas Junjay has Saturn in Libra, Jupiter in Capricorn. So the different quality of the experience. And Mercury Dasha right now till 2029. So 17 years of Mercury Dasha is happening right now. And Levant, uh, again, we see moon in Bharani Nakshatra and 4.6 years of Venus Dasha at birth, followed by Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu. You are in on 27th of July 2023. You have just started Jupiter Dasha. And so for the next 16 years, you're going to be in Jupiter Dasha, which is very nice. And so you see, these change of time periods are also very important. So the Mahadasha, each Mahadasha has 4 underlying subdashas that exercise their influences, change the quality of the dasha. The subperiods influence the main periods. They do not act independently. So it's like actually, you can think of it, it's like a corporate system. So the Mahadasha is the CEO or the president, uh, the chief operating officer. Then you could say the second period is like the general manager, then the area manager. Then, so you see, there's all sorts of different levels of hierarchy, and that is how this Mahadasha system is done. Then the next level is called Bhukti or Antara. Bhukti means to experience, Antara means inner. I like to use Bhukti because it means that what you're experiencing at any time, Bhukti has a huge say in it. Each of which is different lengths, which runs in the same order of grahas as the Mahadasha. The first Antardasha being ruled by the planet whose Mahadasha it is, so that a Jupiter Mahadasha, the first Antara will be ruled by Jupiter, next by Saturn, third by Mercury, same order as Mahadasha. So if we see Levant, who's just started his Jupiter Dasha, I'll just put now here. So you see Jupiter, and the second level is Jupiter till September 2025. So as you start the new dasha, the antara or the first level of subdasha, very important. So you're getting a super Jupiterian experience just now. And then you'll get Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and then the same order like the nakshatras, but as it starts with Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Ketu, Venus. So each of these subperiods, you'll experience all 9 of them till you go into Saturn Dasha in 2039. So not to worry about that, focus on the Dasha you're having just now. So let's just look at so Lynn is right now, sorry, I have to do now. Mercury Dasha that began in 2016. So you see, 17 years Mercury Dasha, if only one type of experience is there, that is too much. So the sub period is today, you are in Mercury Sun till January 2024. And then you'll come to Mercury Moon in January 2024. You have Sun and Moon together in the 10th house. So this is a very key factor for you right now. And So now, Monday just started Mars Dasha, 29th June 2023. So it's a different energy for you because Mars has begun. And this period is 7 years long. So from June 2023 to 29th June 2030, you'll be in Mars Dasha and you are in Mars. So it's a double Mars new energy full of fire because Mars quality is there. So you see the two levels of Dasha, they are the same. And those of you Levant and Monday starting new Dasha, it's a whole new energy for you. And you have to take your time to decide what is it that you want to do in this new energy. And Mary has been in Sun Dasha since 2020, and this is a 6-year Dasha. And it's going to last till 2026. And right now, it's Sun Saturn. 7th of April 2023 was Sun Saturn to 19th of March 2024. The sun is only 6 years long, so it is a short period. Also, Mary, for you, sun rules your ascendant, so it's in the 5th house. So it's about yourself. It's you see, when we are looking at these dashas, we want to know what is the nature of the dasha, what is the quality of the planet. So we will come to that a bit later. And Maureen is in Ketu Dasha. 2018, Ketu Dasha. Ketu is 7 years long. Ketu is best thing you can do during Ketu Dasha is doing something spiritual. And astrology is one of the key things to study during Ketu Dasha. I also started my astrology study in Jupiter Ketu, and full-time astrology when I gave up everything else only was Saturn Ketu. So, but you are in 7-year Ketu Dasha, you have till October 2025, you have Ketu Dasha running, and at present you are in Ketu Jupiter. And how this affects, as I said, we are going to discuss a bit later. And then Myra, who is so Myra is in Jupiter Dasha just now since 2011, and it's going to last till 2027. That means you are used to the Dasha. So what you are watching a lot in these other sub-periods, and right now you are in Jupiter Moon, and that lasts till 6th of August 2024. And one more, and then I'm going to here's Monica as well. Sorry, Mohini. And what we see just now is that Mohini started Mercury Dasha in August 2021. And if we go into the Sabdasha, she's still in the Bhukti or Antara Mercury till 9th January 2024. And then you come into Mercury Ketu for about 1 year. Mercury Ketu is 1 year. So this overall Mercury period is length of 17 years. So before I move forward, anybody has any questions? No questions. Okay. So Bhukti or Antara, this is how it is shown. I already showed it to you, but this chart started Jupiter Dasha, Jupiter, 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 Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury. And right now, actually, it's July, Jupiter, Sun, not Jupiter, Venus. When I made this was last year. So during the whole period of Jupiter Mahadasha, Jupiter itself will be the major influence, but during the different Antara subphases, the other grahas adding to their influence, modifying it for good and bad. Actually, these Antaras are very important because they are the immediate influence. So once you come into the dasha, so Monday and Levant who are just started new dasha, you're in double dasha, but others are having two different planets influencing. So these are very important aspects that we are considering here. So the next level is called Prayantara or Pratyantara. Both is correct. Antardasha are also subdivided in the same way into Prayantara dashas. So in your Jupiter Mahadasha, during Jupiter Antar Dasha, the first Prayantara will be ruled by Jupiter, second by Saturn. In the Dasha chart, first Prayantara of the first Antara of Jupiter will be shown as Jupiter, Jupiter, Jupiter. Second will be Jupiter, Jupiter, Saturn. So here we have a chart here, and you can see that Jupiter, 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 then Jupiter, Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter, Jupiter, Mercury. Now, what I find is that when I'm doing a consultation for the year, so normally when I'm doing a consultation with somebody, I would look at Dasha and Antara. That's all. Because that's enough and it gives, but if people are having, I do a lot of annual consultation, so people want annual, then I would look at what is happening right now and then see what are the things that are taking place at exactly this moment in the chart. So let us just look at, and as I have Mohini up here, what you see is that I put the third level here. So right now, Mohini is right towards the end of her Mercury phase, and the third level belongs to Saturn. It began on 28th of August 2023, Mercury, Saturn. And then 9th January, this Mercury, Ketu. So you see 9th to 30th January, Mercury, Ketu is there. So these timings are really brilliant. You can look back at your life at important events to see what was happening and what was the main thing. And so let's look at Monica. So Monica is in Mercury Dasha, started in 17th October 2017. Let's look at the sub-period, Venus, and then sub-period. So you're on Mercury, Venus, Mercury till 12th November 2013. Then you'll get Mercury, Venus, Ketu. Whenever Ketu comes in, it's always a little complicated because Ketu, we never know how he's going to express himself. So you have to look at these timings, and you know, the big thing about these dashas is that we are our own kind of uh, we study from ourselves, see our chart. I've now forgotten the right word for it, but we see how it affects us. That's how you trust these dasha phases, that how it is affecting and how you're feeling. But generally, as Monica is Mercury, Ketu, that is quite good. And Muthu is So he's in Moon Dasha since 2016 to 2026. And then if we go to the level, we see right now Moon Ketu. And this started 14th of July 2023. As I said, Ketu is always a little bit complicated because Ketu is a past life planet. And best thing to do during Ketu is to do astrology. This is lasting 12th of February 2024. You can also do yoga, spiritual things, all the, that's all things Ketu likes doing. And but let's look at the third level. Right now, your Moon, Ketu, Moon. So that is the third level. And one more chart. So Natalie, Ketu Dasha is lasting to 4th December 2025. Remember, I do the date, month, and year. That's how I've got. And then you will start Venus Dasha. And so you are in Ketu Jupiter just now till 29th October 2023. And then you'll start Jupiter Saturn. Third level, you are at Ketu Jupiter Rahu, right towards the end of the Jupiter sub-period. And 29th October, you start Ketu Saturn. So there's a question was asked that do these, Satya's asked, do the effects of dashas kick in on the date of change, or we can feel them a bit before? There's a sort of, especially the main dashas are changing, there can be some influence that, but actually you have to wait for the timing. Because sometimes you feel it, but the event hasn't happened. So it is important to wait for it. But say like recently I had a very interesting experience. This young girl, she's dating this guy, and Indian girl, so parents asking when is she getting married, and she says, no, I don't want to get married. And she changed her dasha to, I've forgotten what her main dasha is, but Moon Sabdasha. And Moon rules her 7th house. And she changed it on 8th of this month. And by 16th, she was married. And Moon was ruling the 7th house of marriage. So she was anticipating maybe, yeah, I will get married. But in her mind, she was thinking later. But the trigger happened, and instantly then events took place and they got married. And so it is something that is these sabdashas. So for that, you have to look at the bhukti or antara. Prayantara can give you, but it doesn't last that long. So then we come to the fourth level, which is Sukshama Dasha. So each Prayantara is further divided into 9 Sukshama according to the same rulers. Sukshama Dasha is further fine-tuning of whole Mahadasha period, reflecting a few days at its most. Within a few days of the start of Jupiter Mahadasha, Sukshama will change and become Saturn. So here we see this Jupiter Dasha starting in January 2013, 15 January, and then 29th January, Jupiter, Saturn. So this is also, you could say, these fourth levels are sort of phases. Sometimes in a month you are interested in something, then something else happens. So these are very important to see what is kind of within the fortnight or something that is happening. And then after that is Prana Dasha. Prana is further divided into 9. This will reflect a few hours only. So beginning of Mahadasha of Jupiter, first Bhukti will be Jupiter, Prantara Jupiter, Sukshama Jupiter, Prana Jupiter. After a few hours, Prana will change to Saturn, then Mercury, and so on. So here we can see Jupiter Mahadasha for only 2 days, all 5 levels are Jupiter. Then after that, 17th of January, they changed to for 2 days to Saturn, 2 days to Mercury, and then Ketu, only 1 day. Because these dasha sub-periods are proportional to their original period. You see, so if Ketu has 7 years in full dasha, then for any of these sub-periods, proportionally, it will give time. So that is an important factor. So let us look at a couple of more charts here. I just wanted to show you Natalie, who's in Ketu Dasha. So if you see 8th of September, Ketu, Jupiter, Rahu, Rahu. Now this Rahu, Rahu is going to last till 10th of October 2023. But you see the 4th level dashas, Jupiter will change on 16th September, then 16th to 22nd will be Jupiter, and 22nd to 1st October will be Saturn. And then if we go to the 4th level of dasha, you see here that, just go 1 day behind. So this Ketu, Jupiter, Rahu started on 8th of September, and by 16th September, the 5th level, all the 9 dashas have changed. It's crazy time, you know, you're getting one after the other change of dashas, Rahu, Rahu, Jupiter, all the 9 dashas. So during Ketu dasha, those of you who are in Ketu dasha, the 4th and 5th level changes a lot, and that also can be creating instability for Ketu dasha. So let's look at Sabrina's chart right now. So Sabrina is in Mars Rahu dasha, and we can go backwards. Mars started in 2022, and it's a 7-year dasha. And we see here Mars Rahu. Then 3rd level is Mars Rahu Venus, and 4th level is Mars Rahu Venus Rahu, and 5th level here we start Mars Rahu Venus Rahu Rahu. So this finished, and right now if we go to now chart, you are in Mars Rahu Venus Jupiter Rahu. Then tomorrow, which you may be already in tomorrow, Mars Rahu Venus Saturn Saturn. And then this is you know, these pranas, they change quite a lot. So it's very interesting when you look at these 5 levels of dashas, because you know, the wheels within wheels are moving all the time. So let's just look at so Sage has been in Venus dasha since 19 February 2016, 20-year Venus dasha. So it's a long time, and it's like a, you know, 20 years. By the time you finish it, it's a long time. So you have to see what are the sub periods. So 20th April 2023, you start Venus Rahu, and then 3rd level is Venus Rahu Rahu, and 4th level is Venus Rahu Moon, and that will only last till 22nd of September. And then we see here the pranas. Normally pranas are not studied as much, and even the sukshama, the 4th level, I only study if somebody asks me, or say if Sage said, why am I feeling so emotional just now? And then I would see, oh, it's Rahu Rahu, and I would say, maybe let me look at 4th level, and I'd say, oh yeah, you are in the 4th level of moon, so it'll pass, doesn't last very long. and you have to work with that emotion. So, we can look at what are the dashas and give some advice accordingly. And so Sattara here. So I'm just starting here. Sattara is in Rahu Dasha. Rahu started February 2022. And so I presume you'll be still in Rahu. This is a Rahu start of Rahu Dasha. You're still in this new phase of life. And I think you started studying Jyotish also with that, because you started in 23. So you started Rahu. And then October 2024, you'll go to Rahu Jupiter. But let's look at this Rahu. And right now, April, you've got to Rahu Mercury. Now tomorrow, you're going to start Rahu Ketu. It lasts for 2 months. Always when Ketu turns up, you have to be a little bit cautious, because Ketu can reject everything. But studying Jyotish, very good thing to do in Ketu period. And then 5th level Dasha, you can see here, 4th level Rahu Mercury Saturn, and then the 5th level Rahu Mercury Saturn Jupiter. And then tomorrow, which I think in China, it's today, Rahu Ketu. So 3 Ketus are there just now. And then this Ketu will finish only on 12th. So you see on 12th, like 3 different dasha, prana dasha periods are there. So that is where we have to be conscious about that these dasha periods are there, and we are working with them. And one more. Satya, here we see that now Moon Dasha is on till October 2024. And Sabdasha is Moon Venus. And you're coming towards the end of your Moon Dasha. 3rd level, Moon Venus Saturn. 4th level, Moon Venus Saturn. It just began on 31st of August. And then the 5th level is Moon Venus Saturn Rahu. On 13th, you'll get Moon Venus Saturn Jupiter. And then 15th of September, Moon Venus Saturn Mercury. So Mercury will 4th level last till 29th of September. So these are some things that you have to study yourself and look at all these different 5 levels of dasha. So any question, anything? Okay. So now how do you calculate the first Mahadasha? The position of the moon at the time of birth, that is which nakshatra it was in, indicates where on the list of Mahadashas and their subdivisions you were at the time of birth. This is where the knowledge of nakshatra is so important. The ruler of the nakshatra containing your natal moon is the graha of the first Mahadasha of your life. The degrees moon has traveled through in this nakshatra will indicate how much of the Mahadasha you have yet to experience. Each nakshatra covers 13 degrees 20 800 minutes of the zodiac along the ecliptic. If your natal moon was 12 degrees 26 Aquarius, it was in Shatabhishat Nakshatra ruled by Rahu. Shatabhishak begins at 6 degrees 40 Aquarius. Your natal moon will therefore have traveled 5 degrees 46 through Shatabhishak Nakshatra and have 7 degrees 34 or 454 minutes still to travel. So you'll divide 454 by 800, you get 0.566. You were in Rahu Mahadasha at time of birth, and 0.566 of that dasha is still to come. Rahu's Mahadasha lasts 18 years. To know how much 0.66 represents in years, multiply it by duration of the dasha period. 18 years multiplied by 0.66, you get 10.192. Then multiply the remainder minus years by 12 to get the months. 0.9192 multiplied by 12 is 2.3 months. And lastly, multiply the remainder minus the months by 30 to get the days, 0.3 by 9. So actually these days you don't need the calculation because the computers do all the calculation. So total Rahu Dasha yet to come at time of your birth was 10 years, 2 months, 9 days. So if your date of birth was 15 November 72, your Rahu Dasha will have ended on 25th January 83 and Jupiter Dasha would begin. So here I have Satya's chart here. And if you look at the Panchang, so if you look at the Panchang here, it says Nakshatra is Magha. So you were born in Magha, Ketu Dasha. So here what you're seeing is, one sec, somebody has got their mic switched on. Okay, so if you see that your moon is in Magha Nakshatra, 12 degrees 3 minutes. So that means you're towards the end of Magha. So accordingly, you'll have a short Ketu Dasha. So here it's telling you that Pada 4, 61.97. So barely 38 0.38% you have Ketu to experience. So here you can see that 6.3 of the dasha you didn't experience. So your Ketu dasha at the start of birth was only 7 months long. So you're born in Ketu dasha, 7 months long. Let's look at so let us look at Serene here. And Serene is moon in Shatabhishak Nakshatra, and here it's giving you the information. 58.85% in of sorry, that's the wrong one. Nakshatra Shatabhishak Pada 3, 78.61. So you experienced only 5.5 years of Rahu Dasha out of 18 years. So it's not the full Dasha that you experienced. Shantipan moon is in Bharani Nakshatra towards the end. Bharani finishes at 26 degrees 40. So Bharani, you'd have a short Venus, 2.3 years of Venus Dasha. 17.7 years you don't experience. You'll experience if you live 102 years, then Venus will come, the last part. So depending on how long you live, you will see that. But we are looking at the first part of the dasha. And Shubha, again here, we see that the moon is in Revati. Revati is ruled by Mercury, first pada. So here moon is 1834. So 18 degrees, Revati starts at 16 degrees 40. So that means a lot of Mercury Dasha you experienced, and there you can see 14.6 years you had Mercury Dasha. And snow here, moon in Kritika, and Kritika finishes at 10 degrees of Taurus, and you had almost 2.8 years of Sun Dasha, then followed by 10 years of Moon Dasha, and now you are in Jupiter Dasha. So lengthy tables are needed to calculate Priyantara, Sukshama, and Prana. Most computer charts give 3 levels of dashas. 3 levels of dashas are usually enough to give good results. It is usually in daily speech just to refer to 2 top levels. The Mahadasha, current Arantardasha, Saturn Mahadasha plus Mercury Bhukti would be referred to Saturn Mercury. Now, as far as I know, we have been seeing Shri Jyoti star and J Hora. So J Hora is a free software, and it gives 5 levels. So if you don't want to invest in software, but you can get J Hora. It's got 5 levels of dasha as well. So this is Serena Williams' chart, and her moon is in, what do you call it, Uttara Phalguni. CBC, she is 2647. Uttara Phalguni started at 2640. So she would have got almost full Sun Dasha at the start of her birth. And here you can see that I put the Panchang here, and Uttara Phalguni, Pada 1, 3.9%. And you see that she started with Sun Dasha. And actually, she started playing in Sun Mercury. So she's a child prodigy. So first Dasha Sun lasted for 5.9 years up to 6 September 87. And this is Prince Harry. His moon is 2741 of Aries. That's also Kritika, ruled by the sun. And but he was 30.94. So he experienced 5.5 years of Sun Dasha. Of course, he was born a prince, so Sun is very appropriate for there. But his moon dasha began in 1990. Moon is Kimadruma. He has an isolated moon. And of course, his mother died during this time. So he would have felt very isolated at this time as well. So there's no assignment. We continue with dashas next week, but let's complete all the dashas that I haven't looked at. So this is Sukanya. Moon is 2114 in Vishakha Nakshatra. Vishakha is ruled by Jupiter. Vishakha begins at 20 degrees of Libra. That means you would have experienced most of Jupiter Dasha. And here we see that 14.5 years out of 16, you had first 16 years, and then you had 19 years of Saturn Dasha. And then Yang, your moon is Uttara Ashada, 3.57. So Uttara Ashada ends at 10 degrees of Capricorn. And so you had Sun Dasha for 2.7. So almost half of Sun Dasha at birth. And then you started Moon Dasha. And Moon was 10 years. And now you are in Jupiter Dasha. And last person, Yunan. Your moon is in Mula Nakshatra. You see 16 minutes of Mula. So you had almost full Ketu Dasha at birth till 6.9 years. So till 23rd April 1999. And then Venus, and you started Sun Dasha just now. So that is it. So that is it for today. We are going to learn about the techniques and what each dasha means, and we'll discuss that next week onwards. Any questions? Maureen? You're in Ketu Dasha.
Oh, I just wanted to say it's so much information. Yeah.
That is true. It's yoga of the mind, you know.
Wow.
It is too much.
It's amazing. Thank you.
Hi. Camilla, I have a question. This
Yes.
is Sabrina.
Yeah.
I was wondering if as we're getting the information down and looking at our own chart, if we have questions about it to make sure we're analyzing it correctly, could I email you and just ask you
No,
questions?
I ask questions. Nobody asks me questions. You're supposed to ask in the class, because if you email me, I may not be able to reply, but you can always ask questions next week or whenever I say, do you have any questions, or at the end of the class, because then if you have questions, other may also have questions, you know, so it can clarify for them as well.
Okay, so I could ask next week about yogas in my chart, and you can let me know.
Yeah, yeah. See, if you're not asking of that particular class, the best time to ask is at the end of the class, because then, you know, we have completed the subject, and at the end of the class, we can talk about it.
I do have one, maybe it's a question or a thought. Like for me, in 8 days, I'm in the Ketu Mahadasha. I'm going into the Antardasha of Saturn.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And I'm wondering if it's good to, when we know on that day that we're moving into an Antardasha, is it good to do mantra for that?
You can, yes. Also, you can plan, because you are in Jupiter, which is much more expansive, and Saturn can make you work hard and be more responsible. So you can say, okay, I'm in Saturn, let me get my projects done. You know.
But like a Shani mantra or something.
Yeah,
on that
that
day?
would be nice. Yeah, that
Okay.
would be very nice. Yeah.
Thanks.
See, the main thing about these Mahadashas are, Vimshotri, it's all about the mind. And as these dashas change, our mind starts changing as well. Our thought process, what we want, what we are looking for. So that is the most interesting aspect of it, that you go into a new dasha, and then you have as they evolve, your thinking evolves as well. So it's good in these change of dashas to listen to what your mind is telling you. Good. I shall see you all next week. Thank you very much.